It may seem like just another mega project by Tesla, but rumors circulating online point to something much bigger happening behind the scenes at Giga Texas. According to internal leaks and details almost unnoticed in recent interviews with Elon Musk, the factory is about to double in size, with the construction of a new 8 million square foot complex. What has caught attention is not only the scale of the expansion, but the fact that this new wing would be dedicated exclusively to the production of the humanoid robot Optimus. That's right, an entire production line, not for cars, but for robots. And behind this, many experts already see clear signs about the behind-the-scenes of the highly anticipated Tesla Model 2, scheduled for 2026. Instead of betting on a new model with futuristic specifications and inaccessible technology, what is emerging is a strategy focused on industrial efficiency at unprecedented levels. What is being discussed in forums and behind the scenes in the sector is that the Model 2 could be the world's first mass-market car assembled with the direct assistance of humanoid robots on an industrial scale. It's not just about automating tasks, but about using the Optimus robots themselves to build other Optimus robots and, in parallel, contribute to the Model 2 production line. It's as if Tesla were creating a living, self-reinforcing production chain. The idea seems like something out of a science fiction film, but Musk has been mentioning it casually since 2023. This paradigm shift explains why Elon Musk isn't prioritizing impressive specifications in the Model 2, like record-breaking range or brutal acceleration, but rather an extremely affordable, durable, and replicable model. Rumors indicate that the factory will operate with such high levels of automation that production costs could be reduced to unprecedented levels for the electric automotive industry. This would place the Model 2 in a price range that truly bothers the competition, with speculated prices between $12,749 and $17,000. And the most curious thing, all this could happen without a large launch event. The signs are in the details, for those who know where to look. For now, the name Model 2 isn't even official yet, but among Tesla employees and industry insiders, it's already being treated as a central piece in the brand's next big leap. One of the most discussed theories in automotive engineering forums is that Optimus and Model 2 will be born in symbiosis. While one learns to assemble with millimeter precision, the other is designed from the beginning to be built with minimal human intervention. It's a type of mechanical coevolution that could redefine not only how a car is made, but what it means to have a factory. We're talking about a shift in industrial culture. Another clue that has caught the attention of observers is the type of material and layout being prepared in this new wing of Giga Texas. According to aerial images and public licensing records, the interior spaces are being shaped to allow for much greater modularity than usual. In other words, it's as if everything is being assembled with the intention of adapting to multiple production cycles, something that fits perfectly with the idea of assembling both robots and an extremely standardized entry-level car, as the Model 2 should be. And this is where things start to connect with the more subtle decisions Tesla has been making. While all this silent machinery revolves around mass production and extreme efficiency, another Tesla project follows a completely different, almost opposite path. And that's no coincidence. Behind the scenes, the new Roadster continues to be discussed as a kind of emotional laboratory for the brand. Despite delays and promises that slipped along the way, recent leaks and carefully chosen statements from Elon Musk indicate that the Roadster hasn't been forgotten. On the contrary, it's being treated as Tesla's ultimate car, one that doesn't need to please cost spreadsheets or scalability targets. It's the car that exists to prove a point, not to sell millions of units. The most talked about rumors revolve around the so-called SpaceX package, which would allow the Roadster to use small cold gas thrusters to generate something close to momentary levitation. It's not exactly flying, but it's not just accelerating either. Musk has already let slip that maintaining this type of effect for more than a second requires storing large volumes of compressed gas, which presents enormous engineering challenges. And that's precisely where the Roadster stands. It's not concerned with being practical, accessible, or efficient. It exists to explore the limits of what a car can be, without compromise. This helps to understand something that many people confuse when looking at the Roadster and the Model 2 as if they were part of the same evolutionary line. Behind the scenes at Tesla, the Roadster functions almost as a boundary. It defines how far the company is willing to go when the goal is pure emotion, and, at the same time, makes clear everything that doesn't make sense to include in a mass-market car. No expensive solutions, no complexity that doesn't scale, no features that uncontrollably increase production costs. The Roadster serves more to say, "This is the ultimate," than "This is the future for everyone." Those who have followed Tesla for a while notice a very clear pattern. Top-of-the-line models always emerge as technological showcases, but rarely do they directly translate their ideas to high-volume cars. What migrates is not the spectacle, but the lessons learned. In the case of the Roadster, the learning isn't in the propulsion or levitation itself, but in strategic clarity. It reinforces that the Model 2, predicted for 2026 according to leaks, will not be a car of excess. It will be almost the opposite. Simple, where it can be simple, robust, where it needs to be robust. Some internal sources suggest that the Roadster also fulfills an important psychological role within Tesla. It keeps the flame of radical innovation alive, while the rest of the company focuses on efficiency, automation, and scale. It's as if Tesla is saying, without saying it, that it still knows how to dream big, even when immersed in numbers, factories, and humanoid robots. This duality ends up protecting the Model 2 from unrealistic expectations. It doesn't need to impress with absurd numbers, because that function is already occupied. This contrast becomes even more interesting when connected to another movement gaining momentum behind the scenes: Tesla's total commitment to autonomy and artificial intelligence applied to public and private transportation. And that's where the conversation naturally begins to veer towards something far beyond a sports car or a popular vehicle. Because while the Roadster represents the pinnacle of manual driving and the thrill of being behind the wheel, the CyberCab appears as the complete negation of all that. A vehicle without a steering wheel, without pedals, and perhaps even without a human driver at all. In a recent interview with Peter Diamandis, Elon Musk stated that Tesla is preparing to put the autonomous CyberCab on the streets by the end of 2026. Of course, everything depends on a regulatory change still pending in the US, but behind the scenes, legal and technical movements are already happening in parallel. The most curious detail? Tesla doesn't seem to be treating this as an experiment. It's treating it as something inevitable. Within the company, leaks indicate that the CyberCab is already being prepared with a complete degree of automation, without a steering wheel or pedals, based on the expectation that legislation will soon allow the mass production of fully autonomous vehicles. And this completely changes the game. The CyberCab will not just be another Tesla. It will be the first Tesla that will never need you behind the wheel. What does this have to do with the Model 2? A lot. Because part of the infrastructure being created to support full autonomy, such as AI superclusters and continuous software updates, will be shared among all the brand's vehicles. The Cortex-2 supercluster, rumored to be operational later this year, is a central part of this plan. It's estimated to consume around 500 megawatts of energy, more than many entire data centers. The goal is not only to train the CyberCab, but to keep Tesla's entire fleet connected in a living neural network where each car learns from the mistakes and successes of the others. The Model 2, designed from the outset for mass production, would become one of the biggest contributors to this collective learning network. Even if it's not autonomous right away, it would already be prepared for it. And this helps explain why Tesla is investing so heavily in a low-cost model with such a robust software structure. It's not just about selling a cheap car, it's about putting millions of sensors on wheels roaming the streets, mapping patterns, feeding algorithms, and anticipating dangers. It's a long-term strategy. According to sources close to Tesla's AI team, true autonomy, the kind where you get in the car and sleep while it takes you to your destination, will depend not only on good programming, but on a real volume of data. And that's where the Model 2 comes in as a key piece. Unlike the CyberCab, which will initially depend on a more controlled environment to operate, the Model 2 will be able to circulate freely from day one, even without full autonomy. But as it receives software updates and learns from the fleet, it can progressively gain layers of autonomy. This modularity is another well-kept secret of Tesla. Its cars are not born ready-made. They evolve after purchase. And in the case of the Model 2, rumors suggest that it will be designed from scratch with this type of future upgrade in mind. Nvidia shook up the automotive market by unveiling Alpamo at CES, a new autonomous driving platform that promises to change everything, or almost everything. The announcement by Jensen Huang positioned Alpamo as a direct competitor to Tesla's full self-driving system, and the internet exploded with comparisons. The first car to use this technology will be the 2026 Mercedes CLA, and the promise is grand. A system capable of planning, anticipating, reasoning, and explaining its own decisions in real time. It sounds impressive, but for those closely following the Tesla universe, this wasn't exactly a surprise. On the contrary, Elon Musk reacted as if simply confirming that the path chosen years ago was the right one. Within Tesla, the tone was almost one of relief. Not because Alpamo is weak, quite the contrary, but because it validates the approach the company has adopted since 2023 with FSD V12. The major turning point was abandoning manually programmed rules and starting to train the AI with real videos, where the cars learn to drive by observing humans. It's an end-to-end system of the camera input straight to the action type, without artificial interventions in between. Nvidia has now arrived with this same proposal, with the difference of explaining its decisions with something called the VLA model: vision, language, and action. But Musk didn't seem impressed, and perhaps he's right to keep his feet on the ground. Because the challenge of autonomy isn't about getting it right 99% of the time. It's in that final 1%, full of absurd situations that no one could imagine. Tesla calls this the long-tail trap, and it's these rare moments, like a man dressed as a chicken crossing a highway, or a speed limit sign partially covered in snow, that truly test a car's intelligence. It's precisely on this point that Tesla has been heavily investing. Its army of cars already on the streets collects real-world data all the time, helping to train the algorithms based on life as it is: messy, chaotic, unpredictable. Meanwhile, Nvidia relies on a much more limited data set from partner manufacturers and tries to compensate with virtual simulations. But simulating an entire world with all its quirks is neither easy nor cheap. And even if it manages to simulate perfectly, Nvidia still faces another structural problem. It doesn't manufacture cars. It sells chips and systems to automakers like Mercedes, who then need to integrate them into their vehicles. It seems simple, but in practice this creates a chasm between development and implementation. Tesla, on the other hand, does everything in-house, from data collection to car hardware, which greatly accelerates the evolution process. This difference becomes even more evident when we look at the future of the Model 2. Because Tesla's goal is not just to have a beautiful autonomous driving system on slides, but a system that works in millions of popular cars facing real traffic. And in this, the company's greatest asset continues to be its fleet. Each Model 3, Y, S, or X on the road is a continuous learning unit. And according to leaks, the Model 2 will be the next link in this chain, connecting millions more cars to the network, each refining the system live. Even if Alpamo works perfectly on a luxury CLA, scalability remains Nvidia's Achilles' heel. The 2021 Mercedes CLA will likely be an expensive car with limited production, aimed at a select audience. The Model 2, if rumors are true, will arrive with an aggressive price and massive production volume, meaning much more data, much more real-world testing, and many more opportunities for improvement. It's a race that won't be won solely through code elegance, but through the sheer volume of accumulated experience. In China, the Model Y received updates that, at first glance, might go unnoticed by those not closely following Tesla's movements. But those who read the behind-the-scenes details quickly understood. It wasn't just an aesthetic upgrade, it was a clear sign of the philosophy that could shape the Model 2. What happened was simple, but extremely strategic. Tesla began standardizing internal components of the Model Y, eliminating differences between basic and premium versions. What was once a privilege of top-of-the-line configurations is now also present in entry-level models. The message, for those who know how to interpret it, is direct. Simplify everything, but without losing the feeling of a premium car. The most talked-about change was the complete replacement of the traditional light gray headliner, widely criticized for looking cheap, with a black Alcantara-style headliner, previously exclusive to the more expensive versions. This not only elevated the car's appearance, but also eliminated a component from the production line, making work easier in the factories. And according to internal sources at Giga Shanghai, this simplification was just the beginning. The new multimedia system, with a 16-inch screen and thinner bezel, also came into play. Visually, it may seem like a small adjustment, but in practice, it's a standardization that paves the way for future, even more efficient assembly lines. From the outside, this might seem unrelated to the Model 2, but the connection is almost direct. What Tesla is doing with the Model Y in China is a real-time experiment on how to elevate the perceived value of a car without necessarily increasing its cost. And that's exactly what's expected of the Model 2, delivering a user experience that feels premium, even at an entry-level price. Asian forums specializing in electric vehicles have already begun speculating that these adjustments will form the basis of the template that will serve Tesla's new compact car. Instead of creating endless variations, the bet is on a single standard: simple, efficient, and good enough for everyone. This strategy also eliminates supply chain complexity, something Elon Musk makes no secret of his dislike for. Fewer variants mean fewer parts, less assembly time, and fewer errors in the process. And by standardizing more sophisticated finishes even in entry-level models, Tesla turns the tables on the competition. It's as if they're saying, while they cut quality to reduce the price, we maintain quality and simplify to lower the price. This completely changes the conversation with the consumer, who starts comparing not only price, but also the perceived value. And that's the feeling the Model 2 should convey: an affordable car that looks more expensive than it actually is. Furthermore, it's worth remembering that Tesla has always used China as a testing ground for production changes. Giga Shanghai is more flexible, more agile, and has local suppliers capable of adjusting processes quickly. Many of the changes that originate there end up being exported to other factories, such as Giga Berlin and Giga Texas. Recent approval records for the new European Model Y already show this transition underway. In other words, what we are seeing in China today may become the global standard tomorrow. And when it comes to a mass-produced vehicle like the Model 2, this kind of prior learning becomes invaluable. Another interesting detail is that Tesla isn't selling these changes as major innovations. They simply appear as if they've always been that way. This shows how the company has mastered the concept of perceived value embedded in production, without relying on advertising campaigns or version relaunches. And according to internal rumors, the Model 2 will follow exactly this line. No frills, not many options, but with a finish designed to look sophisticated.